What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day, and in today's video we've got a weird one. Very cool, very unexpected, but definitely a weird one. So earlier this week I posted about my latest stage-used GWAR score, which was the Princess Diana, hands down the most offensive or shocking item I've ever received in my life, and I posted that in some groups and just asked what else was for sale in the GWAR circuit, and I wasn't even referring to stage-used props or items like that. I was more so talking about general merchandise. You don't ever really see too many for sale posts in these GWAR groups. Usually there are auctions, but the auctions go way too high and I'd rather just buy stuff outright. So I've been looking to bump up my GWAR merchandise game, and I made that post and used the Princess Diana photo for attention. But to my surprise, the first comment on that thread was about a guy who owned a very special stage-used GWAR piece. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing out of this world, it's not a stage-used mask or anything like that, but it is a stage-used item, and it is just a strange piece. So let's go ahead and jump on into the box. We will take a look at what we've got here, and I will explain a little bit about the piece as we go. So the seller asked me if I could keep him anonymous, and I will do that. So let's see. We got packing material on packing material, and right here we have the main item, but I'm going to do a quick scan through the box just to make sure that I'm not missing anything else. Oh, I actually was missing something else. Very cool. Looks like we've got an X-Cops flask here, and I heard that these flasks are just perfect for drinking water out of and definitely not alcohol. So, a very, very cool little bonus there. Oh, there is more stuff in here too. It looks like a piece of the prop itself has fallen off, looking like a little dookie in the box there. And we've also got a set of GWAR Bud of Gods matches, so a nice little GWAR matchbook there. That'll definitely go good in my GWAR collection. So I think that is it. I think we've gotten everything out of the package that we need out of the package, and we have the main piece here. So without further ado, we can start unwrapping it and take a look at what we've scored. All right, we're getting somewhere now. I'm gonna try to be gentle as I get to the actual piece. And what we have here, and this is probably the weirdest GWAR item that I own, we've got some of Scrotamoon's muscle, his raw muscle, in its sleazy or on stage when Scrotamoon was doing shows with the band and they would rip his big Popeye arms off. This is the piece that you would see underneath. It's just like some raw muscle fibers, as if you got de-skinned on your arm. So definitely not a score that I expected to walk into my life the way that it did, but it was just so weird that I had to have it. I do feel like I paid a pretty penny for what it is, but at the same time it's one of those things where I would probably never get the chance to own it again. And the way that the score came about just means a lot to me. Like, I love scoring stuff on my own in the wild and not having to buy off of other collectors per se. This guy didn't seem like he was a big GWAR prop collector. He just happened to get lucky and get this piece back in the day. And to be honest, Scrotamoon is infamously known as the world's worst GWAR character. He's just the worst GWAR character there ever was. I don't really know how he's worse than Bone Snapper. Like, I prefer Scrotamoon over Bone Snapper, but in the GWAR lore and amongst GWAR fans, Scrotamoon is the worst. So I've got a piece of the worst GWAR character in history here. I think that that's cool enough on its own, but there's also one last thing that makes this a super cool GWAR piece to have in my collection, and that is because Scrotamoon was played by Hunter, aka Techno Destructo, most well known as Techno Destructo, and I don't think that a lot of people realize that he actually did play some other parts, such as Scrotamoon, but not only Scrotamoon, but he actually did the imitation or imposter Sexecutioner, which I own the stage-used mask of. So I don't have any actual Techno Destructo pieces. My only Hunter pieces are going to be him doing other characters, which I find really, really interesting. Now I've got a Scrotamoon piece and an imposter Sexecutioner piece, where the Sexecutioner ends up just being Techno Destructo in disguise. I just think that that's really cool, and this is a nice little shelf piece with a cool story behind it. So, huge shout shout out to the fella that sold me this. Definitely stoked to have it in my collection. It is definitely an interesting piece for more than one reason, and I guess you just never really know when or how cool pieces are going to walk into your life, and this is a great example of that. And with that being said, I would like to reach out and say, if you guys have a GWAR piece that you would like to sell me, you know that it's going to go to a good home, and you know that I will make sure that it's worth your while. So hit me up. You never know what's going to happen. Now, with all of that being said, I think that just about does it for this video. I can't go into too much detail on this piece because it is such an insignificant thing, but I think you guys get the point here. So I am going to go ahead and end the video the same way that I always do, with some nice up-close shots of this piece. We will then take it and throw it into the GWAR collection and show it off there as well, and that will be that. So thank you guys very, very much for watching, and until next time, this has been AJ Good at the House of Masks, telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to GWAR, and we will see you guys later.